Do you think AI leverages credible sources such as scholarly databases or general content available on the web, which includes fake news? The answer is yes and yes. It does.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things you have to be worried about, right? For instance, if I go and scrub Facebook, I'm going to learn that if I drink a cup of bleach, I'm going to cure COVID. If I go back to 2020,
Yeah.
don't do that. It will not cure COVID. Do not drink
Yeah.
bleach. But I saw people doing that because they saw it on Facebook. I see a lot of stupid things like that, whether it's COVID news, political news, just all sorts of weird stuff that people do and believe. That happens in the real world. And yes, AI is reading all of that. Now, does AI know what was real and what was fake? Hopefully. But this is one of the things that really scares me with AI is that even the AI engineers don't always know exactly what is being done by the machine. It's a black box. When I talk about a black box in programming, we have this thing, something goes in, something comes out. I put two numbers in, 2 plus 2, out comes the number 4. What happened? Jamario, was that addition or multiplication? You don't
Yeah.
know. You just know that 2 plus 2 equals 4, right?
Yeah.
2 times 2 or 2 plus 2. Now, if I
Yeah.
do 2 and 3 and you get the answer of 6, now you know this black box is multiplication. But the problem with AI is that we don't know what's in the black box. We don't know what's happening. It does
Mhm.
all the calculations, all the gonculators, right? And then it comes up with an answer. And when it gives us that answer, we just assume it's true. And even the best AI engineers can tell you, we don't know what the AI is doing. And when we see things like I started seeing AI being used in court cases for them to be able to specify what the sentence should be or whether or not
Mm.
to put somebody in prison or let them back in the community on bail, what we started seeing was all of those biases that people naturally had were actually showing up by the computer, and the computer was racist. For example, you could see that Jamario and I both look very different, right?
Just a little bit.
40-something-year-old white balding guy. He's a 30-ish African American guy, right?
Yeah.
And if we both committed the same crime of stealing, I don't know, this bottle of water from the corner store and walking out, we're going to get different sentences. I'll probably go home tonight with a $50 or $100 bail, and they may keep him in prison for a couple of days. Why? Because our system has had issues with race over time. I'm just trying to get you the idea of what happens with AI. The AI, when it was trained on looking at decades of cases, they looked at the last 10 to 15 to 20 years of cases. They fed that into the computer and told the computer, figure out who you think is going to be most likely to reoffend. And when they looked at it, most likely to reoffend was Black men, Black women, Hispanic men, and Hispanic women over white men and women because of the data set they fed it. And that is a lot because we had racist judges on the bench over the last 20, 30 years. But because of the bad situation, now the AI learned that, oh, Black person, more likely to be criminal, white person, okay. And this actually was proven because in Florida, where I live, they actually were using AI for about 6 to 12 months as a beta program to help the judges make a decision of when you see somebody in front of you, do you let them go back in the community or do you end up locking them up for the night and waiting for their actual trial, this pre-trial incarceration? And what they found was that there was two girls who were 16 years old and they stole a bicycle in the front of somebody's yard on their way home from school, and they were Black girls, and they kept them in prison for I think 5 or 7 days. Another guy who was a white guy who was 43 stole from a Home Depot, much more expensive stuff, and they allowed that person to go home the same day. And guess what? 3 weeks later, he was back in jail and the girls weren't. But again, the computer made the recommendation that the Black girls were more likely to recommit because they were Black. And that is not okay either. And so that's one of the really scary things with these AIs is we don't know what it's training itself on because we gave it the ability to train itself. And that's why I think humans need to be in the loop and still have a review process. And that is why ChatGPT came out way before Bard, even though Bard has been ready for
Yeah.
3-4 years. They held it back and we're not so sure we want to do this yet. And now they had their hand forced because they were losing market share to ChatGPT. And so they had to get it out there. And they're like, okay, we think we did the best we can. We're going to put it out there and see what happens. But they're doing it in a very cautious way. So that's kind of my thought on biases. There are a lot of biases. And I'm not trying to get into critical race theory or political left and blue and red and all of that. I'm not trying to be woke here. I'm just, it's really
Woke.
true. If you look into this academically and statistically, this has happened time and time again with machine learning and AI. And that's the thing that scares me the most. And I will tell you, I'm probably the least affected by it because I am a cisgendered, white, middle-aged, middle-class guy. It really doesn't affect me that much, but I see that's the big danger in this whole system.